don't see people walk away from this sport healthy generally. I know two. Okay? Two in the last 20 years who walk away with virtually no.
Understand that the price of victory is based on the risks they're willing to take.
There's only two types of oval drivers, those that have hit the wall and those who are about to.
But whilst there will always be freak accidents, today's scientists are trying to minimize the most devastating injuries.
This day, head injuries are the #1 cause of fatality in all series of motorsports. So the head is kind of loose compared to the torso that's restrained in the car. The head and neck are allowed to kind of freely move around in the event of a crash.
Working to prevent disabling injuries, the engineers had found ways of better restraining the driver during impact. But this had created another problem.
When you restrain the torso heavily and the head whips, there are very high centrifugal forces developed that pull on the head and will either break your neck or break the base of the skull.
The reason for these high neck loads was eerily simple, and it was down to the duration the crash pulse lasts. With the crash duration faster than the blink of an eye, the acceleration of the head is so great that, for the crash pulse period, the pressure on the head is greater than the weight of this car. Enough to cause the fatal injury known as a basilar skull fracture.
What happens in a race crash is the torso swings forward, and then the shoulders are restrained, and then the head continues to swing forward, and there's enough load between the head and neck, it actually breaks the base of the skull apart.
And then suddenly it sort of dawned on everybody, oh, that's what's happening. Everybody sort of began to realize that, and then they looked back and said, oh, this has been going on forever. It's a basic cause of death among race drivers.
The engineers concluded that fatalities would have been prevented had the drivers worn a recently invented restraint system known as the Hans device.
The basic idea of the Hans device is to restrain the head so it directly resists the tendency for it to swing forward, and that needs to be done by having loads that go rearward through the middle of the head, and then those loads are transmitted down through the collar, and the whole thing is restrained with the body by the shoulder harness. So when the torso is restrained, the Hans device restrains the head with it.
We tested the Hans device just to see what it would take to destroy it, and the results were startling. After holding the equivalent of an incredible 160 G for over 500 times the crash pulse period, the device finally gave up. The Hans performance in real race car accidents is startling as well.
I went head on into the wall at about 210 miles an hour, and so, I mean, literally, I never lifted the throttle trace, just went like straight down. And
at a record impact force of 139 G, Richie Hearn's crash is the accelerometer's highest ever recorded impact.
I didn't have a headache, I didn't black out, nothing.